are the saints, in paradise, sitting on a cloud to be precise, playing our funky music to the angels up above, spreading happiness and peace and love.
Continue with the Saints in Paradise with Cloud 3. Should explain, I suppose, that instead of using chapters in my books, I use something appropriate to the book. And as this is about paradise, we use clouds. So instead of chapter 3, this is Cloud 3. Okay? Right, here we go. Lofty Leggett emptied the contents of the swag bag onto a table at his sleazy hideout. "How much you got in the wallet, Chief?" asked Cutnail Harry. "How much will we get for the gold watch?" asked Slim. "How's we going to get rid of that suspender belt?" asked Spotty Dick. "Look, fellas," Lofty retorted in his best James Cagney voice, "don't crowd me, see? I gotta sort the loot out first. Then we'll get to thinking about what we're going to do with it, see?" That wasn't a very good advert. Anyway. "Okay, boss," they all agreed in one voice. They followed Lofty into the lounge, where there were several tatty chairs laying about the place. "Tell you what, Harry," Lofty told Cutnail as he sifted through the takings. "Go out and buy some newspapers. See if we made the headlines." "Good idea, boss," Harry agreed as he made his exit. "We can watch it on the telly, Chief," Slim put in. Without waiting for an answer, he switched the television set on. "Yeah," Lofty agreed, "but I can't stick television pictures in my scrapbook, can I?" The two other nodded in acknowledgement, staring at the set as the picture began to flicker into life on the screen. It was an old set, you see. "And shipping are warned of a gale force 3 wind in Portland Bill," the newscaster was saying. "Now for the news headlines. An armed robbery took place in the early hours of this morning at the Striped Dragon Club in Solo Square, Tuckton Wells. The entire member of the Saints Jazz Rock group appear to have been killed when a small bomb was thrown out by the members of the gang." One of the members, Lofty protested, as the pictures for the group were shown on the screen. "That was me. Can't they get their facts right?" Now here's Short Naylor with the details of the raid. Short Naylor came on the screen, live from the studios of Police Hive. "The raid," Mr. Naylor announced, "is believed to be the work of the notorious Lofty Leggett gang. This gang has been terrorising the city of Tuckton Wells for more than a year." "That's right," Lofty boasted proudly. "Bitty about that rock group though," Spotty Dick commented. "Good group they were." "Apart from the tragic loss of one of the country's most popular groups," Naylor continued, "several valuable items were stolen." Pictures of the various items were shown on the screen. A gold watch belonging to Elfie Appetite of Bedside Manners, valued at around £25,000. A silver lighter belonging to oil tycoon Gaul Perry, valued at around £35,000. A set of pearls belonging to Lady Frobisher, valued at about £500,000. Mr. Rock Turtle's wallet, valued at about £5, but containing £700 in cash, and several credit cards. There were also an item of personal clothing belonging to Miss Flame Kingle and valued at a round figure. "Blimey, Chief," Slim broke in, "worth quite a bit, eh?" Lofty was rather annoyed that the value of the items were read out. Gang leaders like him never told the truth about the value of the haul. Now they'd all want a fair share. Even so, Lofty had another trick up his sleeve. "Yes, Slim," he told his partner in crime, "but not half as much as these are worth." From his pocket he produced a handful of visiting cards. "I don't get it," Spotty Dick told him. "Well, with these," Lofty explained, "we've got the address of all the top people in Tuckton Wells, Bedside, and all over the county. We can use all of these to get into their residences, can't we?" "Do you get it now, Dick?" asked Slim. "No," Dick replied. "I still don't get it. Why did we have to blow up that group? Good group they were, those Saints." Meanwhile, in some paradise, the Saints were finding their way around. The first priority was to check out their own cloud quarters. They started with Spike's, and were all surprised to find that they were much bigger inside than they appeared to be on the outside. "You know, a bit like the TARDIS," Duke observed. The entire interior was of shining silver. "So it's true," Spike quipped. "Every cloud has a silver lining." "But why have private quarters at all if we don't get tired and we don't need sleep?" asked Duke. "Everyone likes to be on their own sometimes," Chico replied. "They are just there if you need them, that's all." "We can hardly stick pin-ups on the wall on a cloud, can we?" George observed. "Pin-ups?" asked Chico, innocently. "Girls," Del told him. "Pretty girls in bikinis." "Bikinis?" asked Chico. "Bathing suits," Spike explained. "Little bits of cloth that a beary hide their embarrassment." At last the little cherub understood. "You could if you could find any here," he told them mischievously. "What about entertainment?" asked El. "Aren't there any tellies or camera cinemas here or anything like that?" Chico shook his head. "No, when you get into Greater Paradise, though, you can go see the Earth from a special cloud. You can tune into any part you want." "Will I be able to see my mum then?" asked Des excitedly. "Yes, of course," Chico confirmed. "Only if you get into Greater Paradise, though. You won't be able to talk to her, though, except on very special occasions." "Like what?" Spike and Duke asked together. "Well," Chico hesitated, "like if you're particularly worried about someone, or if you've been murdered." "We have been murdered," Duke and Spike shouted together. "Yeah, and I'm worried about me mum," Des added. "I should have been home for supper." "Well," Chico grinned, "you may be able to get special permission if you pass the trial successfully." "My supper will be cold by then," said Des. "You don't seem to have much faith in us, Chico," George told the cherubs. "Is the trial that difficult?" "It all depends on how you spent your life," Chico told them. You'll find it easy. You find it easy. Some find it difficult, and some find it easy. Some succeed, while others fail. "I think we've all been good boys during our short life," Duke told him as he looked around at the others. "I was caught scrumping apples once," Spike admitted sheepishly. "Yeah," Duke ribbed him. "Rotten to the core, Spike is." "Enough to give anyone the pip," George added. "Did you have the peelers after you then?" asked Del. "Yes, we did," Spike replied. "But we couldn't prove that me and me mate were pinching apples." "Why not?" he asked the others. "Because we were working in pairs." "I don't think you'll have any trouble with that," Chico told them, a little bewildered by their humour. "Although some people do have little things in their lifetime, they usually make up for it later in life. After all, you've given a lot of people a great deal of pleasure through your music, haven't you?" Yes, that's true, Duke agreed. We've annoyed a few too. Hey, said Spike with a renewed gusto. What goes on in that community centre then, Chico, babe? Oh, all sorts of things, the cherub replied enthusiastically. There's the community choir, sports, and flower shows. You can meet some very interesting spirits too. Yes, said Spike, so we found out. But why would people like St. Patrick be in sub-paradise? You'd think they'd all be upstairs. They come here sometimes, Chico explained, to give talks on their life on Earth to the new arrivals. Aren't there any swinging activities here? Asked George. Yes, of course, Chico told them with some thought. There's swings and slides for the children. There's no reason why you can't use them. The others looked skywards, although they're already in the sky. I suppose Bing Crosby's up here, Duke commented, still swinging on a star. But that's not what we mean, Chico, Spike explained. We mean real swinging, like hip, man. Hip? Asked the bewildered Chico. Yeah, like groovy, Duke added. Groovy? Yeah, you tell them, Spike. Well, Spike began. Do you have any jazz here or rock music? I don't think so, Chico replied with a bewildered expression. What's jazz and rock music? The musicians all looked at each other and then at the instruments around them. Shall we show them, lads? Asked Spike. The others nodded in agreement, picking up their instruments, and with a 1, 2, 3, 4, they went into some music of their own.
Two mice did the Charleston, and a cockroach sang a song.
By the time they'd finished with their music, several of their own compositions, a mighty gathering of angels and cherubs had gathered. They all clapped heartedly. How do you make this music? Asked Chico. Easy, Spike explained. If you can play music at all, then you can play jazz rock. I can play hymns and carols, Chico said coyly. Fine, Duke told him. We start by teaching you a rocked-up version of All Things Bright and Beautiful. The angels and cherubs were delighted with the idea. Not far away, however, peeping behind a dark cloud, was a high spirit known as the lawyer. It was the lawyer's job to bring the case against all newcomers, and he didn't approve of what he was seeing. Read on.
Played jazz rock music all night long. Everyone was happy, nothing could go wrong, till a bunch of nasty gangsters threw a bomb. We are the saints, in paradise, sitting on a cloud to be precise, playing our funky music, the angels up above, spreading happiness and peace.